Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is KiwiSimsKate. Kiwi because I'm from New Zealand, Sims because I love the Sims, and Kate because that's my name. It's as simple as that. A special warm welcome if you're brand new here and this is the first video you're watching on my channel. I've been making speed builds in The Sims 4 and posting them to YouTube for a year and a few months now. My last build was actually a renovation project of my very first speed build for YouTube. So if you're interested in renovation projects, go and check that out. I will link it above in this video so you can get there easily. And if you do enjoy this video, please do give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. My channel is slowly growing and I'm pretty chuffed about it. So I just want to continue making videos that people enjoy, and I love to build in The Sims. So I will keep going. This build today is actually part of a collaboration that I did to create a save file in The Sims 4, and it's with a group named the Stream Shed. Some of you may know the Stream Shed already. It's a Discord with an amazing group of not only Simmers but gamers of all kinds. Really supportive group, positive, and there's a lot of fun stuff going on in that Discord, so I will link the Discord in my description of this video if you're keen to come and join us. And a recent project that they started was creating these save files, which were they're like a collaboration between a bunch of Simmers. So they started off with base game only, and they did Willow Creek, and I think they did one other world, but I can't remember. It might have just been Willow Creek actually. This is the second iteration of the save file, and you can download the whole save file from the Stream Shed website. Again, I'll link that below as well. And this specific save file, a group of us recreated Oasis Springs and Newcrest, and we used limited packs for it. So we used the base game, obviously, and the free holiday pack. We also used Jungle Adventure. We used Nifty Knitting. We used bowling stuff. And we used Decor to the max. I think that's it. So a very limited pack build, which hopefully is going to help. I think the idea is that it's going to be accessible to a lot of different Simmers out there. So I have all the packs because I love The Sims, and yeah, that's basically the only game I will spend all my money on. So I do have all the packs, but I do think it's important to create content that's accessible to all Simmers, even if they don't have every pack. So hopefully a few of you will be able to download this save with this limited pack and enjoy it. And if you do, if you place it in your game, or even if you just download this build, I would love to know. Please let me know if you play with this save, or if you play with any of my builds, really. I love seeing them in your games and screenshots of your gameplay. Yeah, it just makes me very happy. So the style of build I am doing today is mid-century modern, if you can't tell already by this roof and just the columns and everything. We stayed with the style that's already in Oasis Springs. So part of Oasis Springs is very mid-century modern, kind of like Palm Springs, and the other section of Oasis Springs is very sort of Spanish colonial style. And as soon as I knew they were doing Oasis Springs, I immediately put my hand up because I really love mid-century modern builds. So I was, really happy to take part in this, and I created a family home. This is not my first mid-century build on this channel either. I did create another family home, sometime last year, I think. But you can go back into my channel and find that. And I wanted to do obviously the same style here, but something a bit different. So first I thought of the family. You can also download the family that I created for this home on the gallery. And I think they will come in the save file as well. I think that's how they made it work. I'm not sure. But the family that I wanted to build a house for included a grandmother. I just loved the idea of creating this 3-generational family home. So the story goes, this is what I thought of. My story for this family is that the grandparents was very, very active and had big social lives. They were older, but they weren't, they were still in really good health. They would go out to bingo nights together, the grandmother and grandfather. They lived on their own. And they were just, still very lively elders. And then tragically, the grandfather died. And I think I was thinking he died in a fishing accident, because they loved to go fishing together. And I think he died in a fishing accident. And they also loved bowling together. And so when the grandfather died, their daughter, who lived in this home, said, look, we've got the extra space. We can convert our guest area into your room, and you should come and live with us and help us with the kids, and we can keep you company. And it was good for both parties, because the grandmother had become very lonely after her husband passed away, and she loved children, so she really wanted to be around her grandchildren more often. And then it was a win-win for the parents as well, so her daughter and her son-in-law, because they are two incredibly busy parents with 2 teenagers, and they have found that they obviously love their children, and their children get a lot because they're quite a wealthy family, they're well off, but they're not really the kind of maternal and paternal type. So they don't really do a lot of activities with their children. They just kind of let the teens get on with their own stuff. And the parents are often away for work. They work long hours. And they were often, the teens were often with nannies growing up. So they thought, the mother in this household thought it was a good opportunity for her mother, the grandmother, to support the family as well and come and spend some time with her grandchildren. And that way everyone wins. And the teens are super excited about it too, because both of them actually share a lot of hobbies that their grandparents do. So they were really influenced by their grandparents growing up. Again, partly because their parents were so busy all the time and they were being basically raised by nannies and their grandparents. So they also share passions like fishing, and the daughter is really into knitting. So they were really excited when the grandmother said, yes, I'll come and live with you. So everybody wins in this household, and there is like an entire wing of the house that's specifically for the grandmother. She gets a double bed in her bedroom and her own bathroom, and then the other sort of side of the house is the rest of the family. And the parents love having the grandmother here because she takes care of the kids, and there's always somebody at home who will cook and take care of the house and be home when the teenagers get home from school, which is something that the teens have not had for a long time. At least not a family member being at home. Often it was just the nanny. So that's the story of the family. And when I had that in my head, I was like, okay, now I am ready to build this house. So I did a bit of hunting online for some inspiration pics for mid-century modern style. I know the general style, I guess you call it, I don't know, what's the word, like certain aspects that you can tell it's a mid-century modern build. So it's very often only one level. There's often split level inside the home. So where in this house I've created like a step down into the living area. There's often brick on the interior and really big windows. So I tried to incorporate all of those different things in here. I also wanted to make it not so much an old-fashioned mid-century modern, but I wanted to really, really incorporate the modern side of mid-century modern. So I thought the parents that owned the house, they're pretty modern, and the mother in particular, she is an interior designer. So she knows about style, she knows about homes, and creating really exciting and fun places to live. So although I wanted to keep a lot of the elements from mid-century modern, and I definitely wanted it to be obvious, but I also wanted it to be on the modern side, as if it was built recently, but it was built to reflect the mid-century modern style. So I don't know if I was successful in that. You can let me know, but there are definitely aspects of the home that I really love. I love the dining area, which I'm doing here now. I love the colors that I use, so this bright orange, and I think I use the drop down lights from Bowling Stuff that are blue. So yeah, mixing up this. Oh no, I changed the chairs. So I changed the chairs to blue, and maybe the lights I make orange. I think I do like 2 bright colors in this room. And then I use that really cool wall object light that's like a huge arrow. I go back and I place it in the dining room a bit later, so you'll see that a little bit later. The kitchen I keep somewhat simple. I guess simple for me. I didn't overclutter it. Again, I didn't think the parents, or at least the mother, never cooks. But the father, I wanted it to be a big kitchen with loads of bench space, because the father, I made a chef, and I wanted him to be like quite a celebrity chef, maybe sort of quite famous, like Jamie Oliver famous, but not the same personality. And he needs lots of space at home, but there's not a lot of stuff there because he probably generally works elsewhere in his restaurant or whatever. But other than that, yeah, I kept it quite plain. I also loved using some of the Decor to the Max items. I really like that kit, and I actually thought the style worked surprisingly well with mid-century modern. It's definitely not mid-century style, but I thought that it worked well with a lot of the Bowling Stuff items and some of the swatches that it comes in, that the items from Decor to the Max come in. They're really fun and bright, and that's kind of, mid-century modern has got a really fun side to it, and yeah, some quite bright colours, greens and oranges and blues. So I thought the style and that pack went really well together. I also used this hideous orange carpet in the living room, and I kind of tossed and turned about whether to use this carpet. I'm still not 100% convinced I like it in here, because as I said earlier, I wanted the house to feel quite in fashion, but with a very mid-century modern base. So I couldn't decide, and I'm still not sure whether or not the carpet and that green wallpaper work. I think it's kind of cool in an ugly way. Like, I think it works, but I don't know. I did stick to my guns in the end. I left it as it was, and I do like it. I didn't want it to be, I wanted there to be plenty of colour in this house, and I didn't want it to be boring, so I kept it in. I also love, love, love these window pieces, these wall kind of cutouts. I don't know what they're called, what that style is called, but I love it. And I know it's a very mid-century modern style, and I thought it worked really well. It just opened up the space a bit more because there's this wall in between the dining and the living room, but I wanted there to feel like there was flow through the house, so I added those there. And then I just clutter up the living room a little bit, but not too much. Again, I feel like this family is quite tidy. And the grandmother, because she's retired, she stays at home most of the day, other than kind of going out and doing the grocery shopping or going bowling or something, or fishing. She is mostly at home these days and is always cleaning and taking care of things. So I wanted it to feel like it was a really well cared for home and not too cluttered. I think probably if it's too cluttered, the mother is sort of just driven wild by does not like too much clutter in her home. And yeah, so I switched up with a few of the swatches in the living area, and then I ended up adding a couple of windows on that wall with the TV, which I'm really glad I did, because it was just feeling a little plain, and there's only so many wall objects you can add before it looks a bit messy. This is the light I was talking about, so that giant arrow. And it's actually the swatch it's in is a blue and sort of beige, and it kind of worked really well with the blue chairs and the orange lamps from the ceiling. So I loved doing that. And I had to add a bar as well in the dining room because I think it's quite a mid-century modern thing to have a bar in your house. And also, I think I gave the teen boy a mixology skill, and I think that he wants to sort of partly follow in his father's footsteps, not necessarily become a chef, but become maybe a bar manager or bar owner, and he's close to graduating high school, and he wants to go into that kind of career space. Then I come back to the living area and switch out the dining room table. So I actually end up putting the Decor to the Max table in there, which is the glass one with the curved feet. I love that table. I think it's so cool, and it works with a lot of different styles. It's super modern, but it's also kind of retro. So I thought it worked perfectly in this house. And I also had a lot of fun adding lots of kind of kitsch bowling items. So I used the bowling trophy cabinet, which I don't think I've ever used in anything because it's kind of ugly, but it works well here. And I thought that I thought that the whole family, that was like the one thing that all three generations really did as a family. Like the one time they actually, all three generations hung out together and spent time together was to go bowling. Even the parents who work hard and have very busy, careers, I thought they will even take time off if they can go out with their family bowling. So yeah, I really liked including that trophy cabinet in there, and there's a few other like bowling items that I added as well. Obviously with limited packs, I want the house to feel full and decorated, but it's tricky because I don't want to be reusing the same objects over and over again, and the fewer packs you have to use, the fewer objects you have to choose from. So yeah, when I'm building for myself, I generally don't have any restrictions, so it can be a bit challenging, but I do enjoy the challenge. I think it's fun, and it also is way faster. I know this speed build is like close to 40 minutes long, but believe it or not, this is a fast build for me. I often take way longer building, and especially with a house like this that's got 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, it can take me a long time because I've got all the packs. It takes me ages to pick the items that I want to use. So when I'm restricted, it's way faster because I don't have so many things to look through, and I can make decisions way quicker. So yeah, that's quite an enjoyable process in this. In the bedrooms, which I'm doing now, I start off with the parents' bedrooms. So I tried to go with kind of colour themes in all the bedrooms. So often in kids' bedrooms, I will go for a hobby theme. Like if a kid's really into science or sports or makeup or I don't know, or anything, then I'll use that as the theme for the room. But in this build, I just tried to go with colours. So with the main bedroom, the parents' bedroom, there's a lot of blues and blacks, and I really liked how it turned out. I adore the rug that I used in here. I actually think I used it in the grandmother's room as well, I think. Maybe also the boys' room. I don't know, but love that rug. I love all the swatches it comes in. And I also put a desk in there, mostly for the mother, who's the interior designer. I kind of imagine that the father is not home very often, but at least the mother works sometimes at home, or even after hours when she's not working, she's still technically, checking her emails every 2 minutes at her desk. And I put the decorating cork board or vision board, mood board, whatever you call it, above the desk. And I did play test this build, and that is the only thing that your sim cannot interact with currently. But I loved the position of it so much, like straight above the office desk, that I didn't move it. So I do apologize about that. If you want to use that, you will have to shift it somewhere, or move the desk somewhere. But I thought it was really weird and frustrating that you couldn't use the board above a desk. So it has to be placed somewhere where your sim can pretty much walk straight up to the wall. So that was a bit annoying, but what are you going to do? And then I move on and I kind of do the 2 teens' rooms concurrently. So I switch back and forth between the two. The colours I went for, the boys' room is kind of similar to the parents' room actually. Blues and blacks, but I kept it a bit lighter. So used some lighter blues and some whites as well in his room. And I gave him a laptop and a dresser and this lovely rug, which is the same rug that I use in the dining room, but just a different swatch. So the blue and kind of off-white and gold swatch. Oh, I love it. It's beautiful. I always forget about these items because I've got all the packs. So yeah, often I just go to the items that I'm most used to using, and I forget about a lot of things. So that's another good thing about restricted packs, is that I discover items that I've always had in the game and I've totally looked past every time. Anyway, the girls' room is pink, so I don't normally like to decorate boys' and girls' rooms in blue or pink, according to the gender. I try and actually stay away from that a lot of the time, but in The Sims it's just too easy to do. And sometimes I think that depending on the sim that you create, it is appropriate and it matches the personality. So The boys' room is blue and the girls' room is pink. Obviously, you can change that if you want. I have absolutely nothing against changing it. It just worked for the two Sims that I created. The girl is fairly kind of, I guess you'd say, traditionally girly. She also just adores her grandparents. Both of the kids adore their grandparents, but the teen girl in particular was really devastated, losing her grandfather because he taught her to fish and they would often go out together, and she just really enjoyed spending a lot of time with both of her grandparents. So she's really, really, really close with her grandmother, and her grandmother has been teaching her how to knit. So she's really getting into craft things, knitting, and I gave her that table from Nifty Knitting in her bedroom. Then I move on to the grandmother's bedroom, which is sort of, I kind of had a hard time deciding the color scheme here, but eventually I did find that it sort of fell into place. So it became a green, kind of all shades of green with wood tones. That was sort of the color themes in the grandmother's room. And of course she has her little bowling trophy on her dresser. She has a cute little star mirror with the lights around it. She's got some knitting decor, just some items that makes it look like she loves to knit and create things. And then also the screen that came from Decor to the Max. I often forget to use screens, but they're a really good option if you're trying to fill a corner or a space where you don't necessarily want any more furniture there, but you don't want to leave it plain. I have a very difficult time leaving corners with nothing in them in The Sims. It is quite a bad habit, but I can't help myself. When a corner doesn't have anything in it, I have to put something there. I have to fill it. So that's just me. Let me know if you're the same or if I'm just special. The bathroom for the grandmother, which everyone has access to, it's sort of, there's a little kind of, I guess, mini hallway from the living area, and then it splits off into her bathroom and her bedroom. So you could just use this as a second family bathroom, would be fine too, obviously. And it's just got the shower tub combo, a toilet and a sink, and I tried to make it look a bit more like it was the grandmother's bathroom. So it wasn't necessarily modern. Maybe it was a bit of an older style, something that the grandmother would have designed or enjoyed. And then the main family bathroom, which I think I get to next, is much more modern. In fact, I really like... It took me ages to do the main family bathroom, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. And this little half hallway or entranceway to the grandmother's quarters, I cluttered up this table so much with all of the projects that she had knitted. Maybe there's some stuff that her granddaughter knitted too in there that she was really proud of. And yeah, just some decorations. It's nothing there is functional, I don't believe. Just the side table and some decorations. After putting some outdoor lights around the outside of the house, I do move back inside, and this is where I decorate the main family bathroom, which just comes straight off near the kitchen. I didn't love the placement of this, but it's fine. I can live with it. It's just, I don't feel like bathrooms should be off kitchens. If it's a bigger home, it kind of feels weird. It would feel weird in real life, but of course this is The Sims, so none of that matters. And as you can probably tell, yeah, I had a lot of trouble deciding what shower and bath I wanted. I knew I wanted a shower and a bath because it's such a big bathroom, but I did not know where I wanted to put anything. I moved the shower and this tub around. I might have even cut out some footage. I can't remember. But I moved them around so much and I cannot figure out what to do. Eventually I settle on this though. I make the room one tile smaller by putting in that corner there. And so then I can push up the shower against that. So it looks like it's a tiled shower that matches the wallpaper. And then use a sink from the counters. And yeah, I like it. It's a pretty simple bathroom, but I don't know, something about it. Maybe because most of my bathrooms are not this roomy. Generally, my bathrooms tend to be a bit cramped, but I really liked having this space to have this quite clear area in the center. And it's been play tested, it all works. Your sim can get around and get in that door by the sink. But yeah, I was really happy with it. And it was the thing that I left inside to the end because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So yeah, very happy in the end. And then I move outside. So I think the inside is all complete by now. And I didn't have a lot of space outside. I definitely used the entire lot. That wasn't my intention, but once I started adding rooms and, I knew I wanted it to look like these people were fairly wealthy, I didn't end up with a lot of outdoor space. But honestly, I think that's fine for this family because if it were the grandparents' home originally, I feel like it would have had a lot more outdoor space. But because this is the parents' home that the grandmother moved into, I don't feel like they ever would have really cared about outdoor space that much. They're just too busy. They're not really outdoor people. They don't garden. So this area back here is really just if they have guests, or the grandmother's also brought all of her favourite plants from her house when she moved in, and planted them in the back. Oh, it's not really a backyard, in the back courtyard area. And I did the same thing where I made it kind of split level, so you actually come out the back door and you can step down into this little lowered patio area, which I thought was quite cute. And then just landscaping, so some privacy bushes because it's quite exposed here on this corner lot. And although it's a game, I just can't help myself thinking, these Sims need some privacy from the Sims that are walking around the world. And I also tried to landscape it with plants and items that are in the world as well. I've really, really tried to start doing this a lot more. I think when I started out building, I would just add whatever I wanted. But now for me, it's quite important that it blends in with the world where I'm building. Unless I'm building something kind of really wacky and different, I do think it looks a lot nicer if your build looks like it belongs where it is. So this obviously being an Oasis Creek, where is that? I don't know. Oasis Springs. There's a lot of succulents and cacti and these sort of bonsai tree things. And I went around the world and I picked out from the live edit and debug menus similar or the same plants and popped them all out the front here and then made that little rock pool fountain thing, which I thought was quite cute, and I saw in a reference photo in Pinterest, so I thought that worked quite well. I also forgot to say at the beginning, but I love the cutout central ceiling bit. Again, that's from a Pinterest reference photo. I don't know if I've still got that or if I'll be able to find it. It took me so long. But I thought it looked really, really cool. Anyway, we are coming up near the end of the build and the video. I just finished off the landscaping a bit. I think I put some live edit walls, I think. So I placed some live edit Oasis Springs wall paneling, which I think technically is from the Spanish colonial area of Oasis Springs, but I think it works well here. Yeah, I really like these walls, and I think it fits the same sort of vibe. But if you want to download this build, my gallery ID is KiwiSimsKate, and it is there as well as the family. However, it's also available within the Stream Shed save file. If you search on social media, especially on Twitter, hashtag Stream Shed Save, and also in the gallery, you can find I think you should be able to find all of the Stream Shed saves there. Buildings and people. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, follow me on twitch.tv/KiwiSimsKate, where I stream live twice a week, and my Twitter and Instagram handles are also KiwiSimsKate. But thank you so much for watching this today. I hope you enjoyed it, and enjoy the screenshots. Take care out there. Bye.